everyone, I'm Trey Rich and you're watching The Buzz. On today's show we have the winner of The Voice Season 19, Carter Rubin. Then we have the cast of Fatale. In our artist spotlight we have Francisco Martin. And finally we have the legendary dancer-performer Shabadoo catch us up on what he's been up to. This is a great show, so roll that intro.
Hi, this is Michael Ealy and you've just been buzzed.
Season 19 of The Voice is in the books, and the 15-year-old Long Island, New York native Carter Rubin became the youngest male winner ever. It came down to Team Shelton versus Team Stefani, as Carter gives Gwen Stefani her first win after being a judge for 5 years. But it's not a total loss for Blake. The win still keeps the title in the family since he proposed to Gwen a few weeks ago. We have Carter up next to tell us all about it. Let's take a look.
Carter Rubin, you did it! Congratulations!
So when I found out, as you probably saw, I kind of collapsed for a second there. I was like in disbelief. I was just so shocked that now this is actually because I did not come in here even expecting to win, not even a little bit. I came in to hopefully turn a chair and get some feedback and just have a fun experience. No way was I actually expecting to make it to the finale, let alone win. That's just insane to me how I was able to do that. I'm still flying right now. I'm still trying to comprehend what just happened to me. It's just insane. I cannot even believe what's happening. Well, after we won, we went to press, and after that we kind of said our goodbyes, except she said I'm not out of reach. Through the Voice people, I can contact her if I ever need anything. And she said it's the perfect time for me to start writing songs, and I agree with that. I'm hard at work at writing some stuff that I want to go in the studio and record, hopefully soon, early next year, I'm hoping. So that's kind of where I'm at right now, and but I'm not out of reach with Gwen. She's still, if I ever need to talk to her, she's still there. She's been such an amazing mentor to me so far, and she said she'd be happy to keep teaching me things and helping me throughout this career, this new career that I have. I think there's definitely a little bit of pressure because, you have to compete with people older than you, and so it's definitely a little pressureful, but at the same time, I like a challenge, and I would love to, I'm just going to take it day at a time and see where it goes from here, and I just want to keep growing and keep expanding and just make music that makes people feel good. Well, Lauren Daigle, I sang her song You Say in the Knockouts. She actually reached out to me and congratulated me on my win, and she said thank you for singing my song, and I just said that's just insane because you created such a masterpiece of a song, and I was so honored to sing it, and it was a lot of fun for sure. Yeah. I have an Instagram, TikTok, and a Twitter, Carter J. Rubin. So I'm already active on social media, and yeah. Hi, my name is Carter Rubin, and you've just been buzzed.
Don't go anywhere. Danny has Michael Colter, Michael Early, Hilary Swank, and the rest of the cast of Fatale up next.
Get ready to take the new year to the extreme.
Do you want to see more? Yeah! I'll be setting a new world record.
My mom jeans are kicking in right now for sure. I'm a strong woman. I have to give so many props to my mom.
You're crying? Now I feel like I should cry.
Jennifer's frozen like she saw a ghost.
Thought he was gonna stab her, then he swallowed the sword.
Go Big Show, Thursday, January 7th
Do you think Dollar knows he's standing next to a jackass?
on TBS.
Up next, we have Danny tell us all about the new psychological thriller from director Deon called Fatale. Danny?
Thanks, Trey. Deon Taylor's latest film, Fatale, is out now in theatres, and it stars Hilary Swank, Michael Ealy and Mike Colter. We got a chance to talk to all of them about their new psychological thriller. Let's take a look.
Life is a road, straight and narrow.
stay on the road, then it will take you safely home, but make a wrong turn. And you will meet the darkness.
Guys, congratulations on this movie. Now, Hillary, you blew me away with your shotgun skills. Like that scene coming down the hall. I know it's a little bit of a spoiler, but oh my God, I don't want to mess with you. That was one of my favorite moments.
Thank you. Thank you. It was you know, it's fun to be in a movie that's so different from some of the things I've done. I mean, obviously, I've used my fists in a movie, playing a boxer, and I've definitely played a lot of strong women, but nothing quite like this. That's a thriller in this way and looks this way, and so it was a lot of fun.
Yes, and Deon, tell us a little bit more about this movie.
I mean, I think it's one of the special movies of this year. Obviously, it has the tread of Fatal Attraction and Gone Girl and Basic Instincts and all those wonderful films that you really, really love. I think we did something a little bit different this time. We gave you a couple more twists and turns than those films did in the past. And I don't think it could have been pulled off the way it has been if we didn't have Hilary Swank. She's absolutely incredible in the film. She captures you. She spins her web. You're like in her web the whole movie. And you're like, what the hell is going on? But it's just fun, man. It's just fun to make movies like this. And I also think that this is a throwback to the incredible movies that we loved in the early 80s and 90s. You know what I mean? I think that's kind of what this movie is capturing in terms of its spirit. So this a doozy, man. If you want to see a guy get on a roller coaster, put his seatbelt on, and go to the top, and the roller coaster breaks, this is the movie.
That's the perfect way of explaining it. So, Michael, congratulations on the movie. It's great to see you reunite with Deon Taylor again. What was it like working with him?
You know, it was better than the first time. You know, I think the first time we hit it off, and the second time we kind of found a real groove. I can only imagine what would happen the third time, and hopefully I won't have to wait too long for that.
Well, fingers crossed for the third time, because I want to see that as well. So can you tell us a little bit about your character, Derek?
So Derek is, you know, a very successful businessman. He's a former athlete, and, you know, he's built this empire, and there's some bad judgment and some bad circumstances that lead to what could be deemed his worst mistake ever. And it's fascinating to watch someone who has it all lose it all in such a fast and like almost concussive way. It's just kind of mind-blowing to watch somebody just lose it all.
Hey Mike, how are you?
Hi, good to see you.
Good to see you too. So tell us a little bit more about your character and the movie.
So Rafe is a guy that, you know, lives in the moment. He wants to have fun. He has access, you know, to, you know, cars, you know, jets, and he's enjoying it, and he is enjoying having this fun with his best friend. You know, Derek is, you know, they've been hanging out for years. They both love sports. They turned their love and passion into a career, and they couldn't be happier. Now he just wants to get Derek to continue to be on this joyride with him. And so when you first meet them, you go, man, you can tell Rafe is a guy that, you know, he's a wingman, but it's different. You know, there's wingman and then there's wingman. He's a wingman, but he's going to keep the party started. He's going to get the party started. He's going to keep it going. And if you don't want to hang out and party, you better not hang out with Rafe, because Rafe is not having any of this sort of sitting around sipping coffee at 2 a.m. If you're out, we're turning it up. You know, we're turning it up. So he's that guy. He's that guy. And I think Derek is in denial that he really likes to have that kind of energy around him.
Hillary, you mentioned this character is very different to other characters you have played in the past. So tell us a little bit more about Detective Valerie Quinlan.
Well, you know, this is a woman who is flawed, like all the characters in this film. We're all flawed, you know. We're all trying to find our way and navigate through this world that's been challenging. She makes a pretty big mistake, and she is remorseful, and she tries to rectify it. She tries to right it, and when it doesn't work out after she's worked really hard to do the right thing. She kind of goes off the rails, you know, she doesn't know what to do with that. And her off the rails is just trying to claw her way to her daughter and find a way to get back. And some of the decisions she makes wouldn't be the ones that I make, but I can see how people would make them. That's the thing about this movie, is that, you know, you can see people actually making these choices out of desperation. And that's what also makes it scary.
Yes, and that what happens in Vegas doesn't necessarily stay in Vegas.
God, nothing's easy with you.
Fatale is in theaters right now. Make sure you go and check it out. Back to you, Trey.
Thanks, Danny. Up next, we have Francisco Martin up in our artist spotlight. In our artist spotlight, we have Francisco Martin. If he looks familiar, you may have recognized him from the standout performance on American Idol. And at some point, the judges had to do an intervention. We'll let him tell us all about that. Take a look.
Hi guys, I'm Francisco Martin. I'm a singer-songwriter based out in San Francisco, California. And yeah, I make music.
Danced all night till you were back in your body and you forgot about him. With a pretty face on a sweet voice, telling me lies like you were fine without him. You're gone.
Well, I grew up in a music-oriented family, so my dad was always playing records when I was growing up. It's like the cliche thing that all musicians say, but it was true for me. I mean, like, looking back now, like my parents never let me do sports when I was a kid, like at all. I remember I wanted to play basketball. My dad never let me. He was like, "You got to stick to music. You know, that's what you know." So he enrolled me into a bunch of like drum classes and like singing classes. And then at first I hated it because I was like, I wanted to play some sports. You know, like everybody else, all my friends in high school and like elementary school are playing sports. Why can't I do that? And then he was like, "No, trust me. This is what you." Basically, he was trying to get me onto what he was doing, because he was a musician growing up too, so he was just wanted to transfer that onto me, and I didn't know what he was doing at the time. So then basically I grew up listening to a bunch of his records that he loved to play when he was a kid and growing up, and then my mom used to play me a bunch of records, and yeah, it was so my mom, my dad, my brother would introduce me to different kinds of music, and just kind of fell in love. And then Idol hit, and then I actually wanted to pursue a music career and write music and produce music. So here I am.
I'm good. How are you guys?
Are you nervous?
A little bit.
A little bit, my ass.
You gotta
calm down.
You gotta calm down. Now see,
yeah, hold on.
You need to calm down. See, come on, let's give him one of them. Yeah, you need one of them. Calm down.
Yeah. Are you breathing?
Yeah. Fine.
You're not breathing.
It's funny because like even before I even walked into the room, I was like, I'm not nervous. I'm fine. I was literally fine. Like I wasn't sweating. And then like literally I walked into that room and like I've never seen like a celebrity in person before. So I was just starstruck in general. So then when I was trying to find when I found my place to stand on, I looked up and I saw judges and they were just staring at me, and I was literally starstruck, and I couldn't find the words anymore, and like I was sweating so bad. I couldn't control myself basically, and my anxiety level just spiked really high. And yeah, kind of went on from there. I remember like thinking, I was like, oh my gosh, like why am I feeling like this right now? I couldn't control it. And then thank God they actually like came up and like helped me out a little bit. Like they didn't just leave me out there like bending to the wolves or something like that. But yeah, it was such a weird experience because I didn't expect myself to actually get that nervous. And all I could think about in that moment was people are gonna make fun of me if this airs, like for sure. Like I was like, this is not gonna go well for me. Like I was expecting like just a nonchalant like audition and me just like singing my song and getting in and out. But no, like it was anxiety and like nerves all around. And they helped me out. It was great. I mean, like seeing them really wanting to like help me out and succeed really pushed me to believe that they're really out there to like help you out and they don't want you to like mess up, you know, or like fuck up, you know. It's not really in their nature to do that. They're really genuine judges and they want you to succeed in the show. So yeah, it kind of took me a while though to like actually take their praises and like their help, because I tend to take compliments and like just praise in general with a grain of salt, and it gets to my head a lot. Like I turn it over and make it seem like it's a negative thing, and it's an anxious thing because I have really bad anxiety. So it's a really grateful. Now I look back at it, like if it wasn't for that, then I wouldn't be able to like be doing what I'm doing right now. So yeah.
Love the way you say you're scared to hold me. Hate the way you came and left me crawling. Oh, I held on.
Honestly, like I was actually telling my sister and my manager, like, oh my God, it's actually really weird seeing people sing a song that I wrote. It's like not really normal to me. Like obviously it's not normal to me. It's like my first record that I put out since the show. And I was actually scared because most of the time, like I actually was scared afterwards, where I was like, I don't know whether what's gonna happen like after the show, you know? Like I was thinking ahead, like am I just gonna be like a Idol alumni and that's it? Like I go back to school or something like that? Like I don't want to do that. Like I want to do music, you know? So then I worked super hard making these demos, and like that song I wrote that literally around Idol, so it was like around just like last December, so a year from now. So it's been a year since I wrote that song, and I still remember when I wrote that song. Like I was in my living room, like listening to James Bay, Peer Pressure, and like I was like I really love that guitar melody in that song, and I was like I kind of want to do a little representation of that. So I did, and then it took me like 20 minutes to like actually figure out what I was doing, because I was just murmuring like different like melodies, and like, but I knew what I wanted to say. Like it's mainly what the song's mainly about is this girl that I met on I haven't revealed this before, but like on the show. So I actually met this girl on the show, and I used to say that I met this girl like somewhere, but like it was on the show. I'm actually, hey guys, this is the true tea. This is the tea. But yeah, I met this girl on the show, and she was auditioning too. And then I hung out with her. I actually like came up to her. I was like, this girl's pretty. She's pretty, you know. I want to get to know her. Came up to her and like super nervous, like as always, not a surprise. And she was super nice, super open. We got to know each other for like a whole day because we're in that holding room for like a whole day. And yeah, I got to know about like what music she loved, and like we got to sing together. Like she sang songs for me, and I sang songs for her, and just got to know her like really well that day. And like you know, she was like a little sick around that time. Like she was like basically saying that she was scared, that she didn't want to perform because she was sick, and she didn't know how it was going to turn out for her. And then I was just basically like trying to encourage her and all that. So it was like all that jazz, all like that fun stuff. Like we were just like, we were strangers. I didn't know her. Like, and then she didn't know me. But then like in that moment, I felt like I really got to know her. And then she sadly got, like she had to go home, and then she got eliminated. So then I didn't get sad about it. I just got super bummed out about it. And then like following that week, like the following week, I literally was still like bummed out about it. And I was like, damn, like it sucks. Like now I'm probably never gonna see her again. That's true. I never saw her again. So my Instagram's at Francisco Martin Music, and I'm on Facebook too, which is Francisco Martin Music as well. Twitter is Francisco Martin Music. It's confusing because Francisco Martin's taken, but Francisco with an O. And then I'm on TikTok too, but I'm barely on it. But if you are on TikTok, follow me on TikTok. I do post some covers there often. So Francisco Martin Music is the TikTok. So yeah. Hi, my name is Francisco Martin, and I've just been buzzed.
Swollen is out now on all streaming platforms. Don't go anywhere because we have legendary dancer Shabadoo up next. If you haven't heard, the 2024 Olympics will now have breakdancing as a competitive sport. We have legendary dancer Shabadoo who helped bring breaking, popping, and locking and all types of street dance to the mainstream. Let's take a look.
I'm Adolfo Shabadoo Quiñones, probably most known for the film Breakin' and Breakin' 2 Electric Boogaloo. I got my start in the 1970s dancing on a show called Soul Train, and eventually becoming one of the original founding members of the Lockers. And I'm here right now on Buzz TV. as a young kid growing up on the streets of Chicago. Grew up in the Carina Green Project homes and then the greater north side of Chicago. And dancing was a way of escaping my surroundings. I didn't have a great childhood growing up. I had a great mom, but I didn't have a great childhood. It was very dangerous in the neighborhoods I lived in, so I was always afraid. And so dancing was a way to escape that environment. Well, the Lockers, we weren't formed on Soul Train, although we did have a kind of loose relationship. My close friend was Campbell Locke Jr., and you could say I was his protege. And then you have Fluky Luke. He was also a friend, and Scooby-Doo at the time. Scooby-Doo and Campbell Locke Jr. were roommates on 39th and Budlong. And so we used to practice in their living room. So everything that we practiced, we would go out to the clubs and see how it worked out, and then we would eventually work it out in the clubs, and then you would see it on national television on Soul Train. But no, we didn't have a dance crew. Or the Lockers was basically my first dance crew family. We didn't even call them dance crews. There was no such vernacular. We called ourselves a dance troupe. And the name The Lockers, the formation of The Lockers, the formal formation was by Tony Basil. Some people think it was Don Campbell, but it wasn't. Of course, Tony Basil formed the group with Don Campbell's blessing, but it was really Tony that brought the group together and fashioned us into a professional team. And if you know Tony Basil's past, I mean, she grew up in a showbiz family. She has an amazing story that she, I'm sure, will share with you soon. And but it was Tony. Tony formed the Lockers, and I was basically the last member selected. And I was selected because Tony Basil's boyfriend, as she's told me, Dean Stockwell, the actor Dean Stockwell, he said, "Hey Tony, you should really get Shabadoo. He's a movie star," whatever that meant. But in any case, she liked my persona. I had a kind of ladies' man persona in those days, and I was able to mimic a lot of different dance styles, and that became kind of a trademark for me. My earlier name was Sir Lancelot, and later known as Shabadoo, and I was kind of referred to as the mimic because I could copy different dance styles very quickly. Doing the film's break-in was a natural progression. Starting off on Soul Train, and then the Lockers, and from the Lockers I went solo in 1977. So I was primed for what will eventually be the break-in film. I did a documentary called Breaking and Entering, which I proposed to Topper Carew at Rainbow Productions. And it became the definitive West Coast documentary for street dance in Los Angeles and the West Coast period. And that film was the blueprint for the break-in films. So by this time I had now choreographed Lionel Richie's All Night Long video, appeared in that video. I also went on to do his tour, and from his tour I was cast in as Ozone. But originally I wasn't supposed to be Ozone. I was supposed to choreograph the film.
Yeah? It's me. Oh, the door's open.
How you doing?
I'm all right.
We sure tore the place up last night, didn't we?
Man, we did okay.
James thinks we really have something. He says we have one of the hottest acts around.
Oh, did he now?
Yeah, that's why I dropped by. He told me about this big dance contest, and there's going to be judges from all over the country there. It's really big.
Are you kidding? Those dudes don't want to have nothing to do with our kind.
Oh, what do you mean? We're good. That's all that counts.
Oh, yeah? Well, you know what I think? I think we'll be wasting our time. Those dudes don't want to give us a chance.
Actually, he's working on it right now. He's got some really great connections, and he can get us the chance.
I would think that my persona and where I'm at in terms of my legacy would be much like the way Michael Corleone was in The Godfather. In those days, I am still the Michael Corleone of the street dance movement. I didn't plan it that way, but it turned out that way. In hindsight, I can look at what I did and what chances I took that other people weren't willing to take.
Well, breakdancing has been given the green light and will be included in the 2024 Olympics. It's one of 4 new sports featured in the Games as the IOC shift their focus to the younger generation.
When I heard the announcement from the Olympics announcing that break-in is going to be included in the Olympic, on one hand, I was like, oh my God, break-in's going to be in the Olympic. Then the other hand was like, oh my God, break-in's going to be in the Olympic? And so it gave way to this like real seriousness. I thought, well, you know, how is that going to work? Because our pain is our flavor, isn't it? The pain that we hold in these inner cities across America. I'm talking about the haves and have-nots, and it's mostly blacks and Latinos, but that's not just true for us, it's also true for some white people too, who don't have money, or Asian people who don't have money. You know, poverty doesn't care who it hurts. It will hurt everyone. Just like this pandemic doesn't. It doesn't care who you are, where you come from. So in that moment, I was like, okay, what's going to happen with our people? When I say our people, I'm talking about the people within the culture, which ranges from all kinds of colors. You know, you see someone like Simone Biles. She's a wonderfully gifted athlete, beautiful. But she has hundreds of people behind her. Nutritionists, publicists, coaches, all kinds of things. Her support system is deep, and that may not have been true in the very beginning either. But we need to get there. There's no infrastructure in place. Most people in the world think break-in is a variety of dancing. They think that it's popping and locking and b-boying and so forth. They don't even really know the word b-boying, and the b-boys themselves, especially the ones I'm friends with in New York, have fought for decades now trying to beat down the breaking name. They don't call themselves breakers or breaking or break dance. That's a commercial name that was created by the media and by my film. So, but the movie Breakin' again started this vernacular, or at least perpetuated this vernacular, because in Breakin' you saw many different styles of dancing in it: popping, locking, boogalooing, and so forth. So. Don't be surprised if you see a sampling of many different styles, but the bulk of it be b-boying or some of those power moves, if you will, which is highly gymnastics, acrobatics, that kind of stuff. But I overall still think it's a wonderful opportunity. I want to embrace it. I have embraced it. The IOC, I take my hat off to you. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for bringing to life something that I have worked my entire life promoting and doing whatever I could to have it be respected on a global level. Now, we got a lot of fame from the movie Breakin'. It made a lot of money. It did all of that stuff. But you, IOC, what you've done is something quite amazing, and I take my hat off to you for doing that. And anything that I could do to help you, please, you know my number. You can reach me anywhere. Just, you know what? You probably just walk out on the street and say, hey, how do I find Shabadoo? And you'll find me. Hi, my name is Shabadoo, and you've just been buzzed.
That's all we have. Special thanks to Shabadoo, Carter Rubin, The Voice NBC, the cast of Fatale, and Francisco Martin. Don't forget to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and double tap us on Instagram, all at @buzz_access. Please, people, don't forget to wash your hands, don't touch your face, and please, let's be nicer to each other. I'm Trey Rich. Love and light to you all.
Oh, I held on, and you left me swollen.
For more stories and extended clips, go to thebuzzallaccess.com. I'm Trey Rich, and you've just been buzzed.